What's going on YouTube? It's Tahir here, back today with another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about calmness and how to stay cool, calm and collected in any situation. Just a bit like how James Bond would do, really. You wouldn't see James Bond panicking, and so I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that and some of the implications behind that. So, for those of us that are living in the real world, well, I guess all of us are, but let's just say for argument's sake, for those of us that are in a society where, how do I describe it? How the men are quite emotional, it's a bit cringeworthy, right? Because you don't really see masculine men being emotional, and you tend to have a lot of that nowadays, where the women are feminine and the men are masculine and the men are feminine, and that is the complete polar opposite of what we should be, and that completely goes against everything that nature intended for us. And for me it's a good thing, because you just stand out from the competition. However, overall, for the human race, it's a pretty bad thing, because it might potentially mean that if we carry on going down this route, and I don't think we will go down this route, but if we do, then we might potentially become extinct. Now, I know that's a bit far-fetched to say, but if you really think about it, I think child rates are dropping. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty certain that birth rates aren't as high as they used to be. And that's because of all this polarity nonsense that we have completely messed up, where the women are behaving like men and the men are behaving like women. Now, what you get from that is a sense of no one's calm, everybody is emotional, and the women are naturally emotional anyway, and the men, with them becoming a lot more feminized nowadays, you just get men reacting over stupid little things. Like for instance, there was this one time where there were these two guys, and there was a football match going on. Now, for one of the guys, obviously their favorite team lost, and I thought the way he was acting, the world was about to end. And you see a lot of people like that nowadays, where just one small thing triggers them, and you just do not understand what or why. Now, I understand we're all humans. We'll all have emotions we will all be emotional to a certain extent. There'll be things that make us happy, there'll be things that piss us off, there'll be things that make us angry, and so on and so forth. But what it doesn't mean is that what it means is you should remain calm, cool, collected under any situation that you find yourself in, regardless of where it may be. Because a lot of the times people just want a reaction out of you, people just provoke you just to get a reaction. And I don't think a lot of people are bright or intelligent enough to be able to distinguish that fact. I know a lot of the men in my life aren't. And when I mean men in my life, a lot of them, I mean, it could be potentially in the gym, in the workplace, etc. And I truly do think it's an unfortunate thing, because I think that much higher of people, and then when people don't deliver to them standards, I just think, what the hell are you doing? And that's a lot of men when they're emotional. When you're emotional, no one wants to be around you, right? The women aren't attracted to you. The men think you're a wimp, and I do too, for a lot of the men. And there's just no need for it. You actually make the situation worse if you do that. Now, if you're a girl, it's a different thing. They're born to be emotional. Now, being emotional and being outright nasty are two different things, and I don't think you should be nasty regardless of what happens. But emotional, I don't know. It's like when you see men crying, you just think to yourself, man, what the hell is going on? And that's the way the world is headed. Now, I truly do believe with the rise of YouTube, a lot of the YouTubers, I know people like Hamza, for example, they are trying to reverse all of this. And even I hope to one day have an influence on a massive audience, but it's going to take some time. And we will get there. We will definitely get there. Just going to take time and some consistency. But I truly do believe we will reverse some of these effects, and we will actually turn feminine women into masculine men that they should be to start with. Now, it won't happen in one go. I don't think anything has ever happened in one go. I mean, there's a famous saying, Rome wasn't built in one go. But slowly by slowly, if you start chipping away at something, in my instance, if I'm slowly just uploading these videos and getting even one or two messages across a week, I consider myself to have done a very good job. And we need more people like that to kind of, I guess, improve the life of others, because I tend to find that when I improve the life of others, so there's a couple of things. When I improve the life of others, when I give to charity, for example, to help others, there's a sense of gratification. There's a sense of like happiness. There's a sense that I have achieved something, that I feel completely full on the inside. Whereas when I'm being selfish, and there are times where I be selfish, it is a complete minimum, but there are times that you just don't feel, I don't feel the same personally. Now, I don't know how other people would feel, but seeing as they're humans just like me, I'd imagine pretty similar. Now, my next point, what would it be? Oh yeah, emotional. So we were talking about emotional and men not being emotional. Another thing that emotional men does, or another effect that emotional men have, is the fact that they actually end up repelling any woman in their lives. Because whilst a woman might say, oh, we want an emotional man, we want someone that opens up, the second you do that is the second they get unattracted. And crying is probably the worst thing you can do in front of a woman, because there's an analogy where if you cry next to a woman, it's almost like bleeding next to a shark. Now, you don't really want to be doing that for obvious reasons, and you want a happy life, you want a smooth life. You don't want to constantly be in limbo and constantly thinking and overthinking about what is going on around you and what others are thinking. And just being emotional, it brings out, I believe, the wrong side of people, and it actually ends up getting you the wrong results, and then you end up, the actions that you end up getting from that result end up being completely wrong. So you never want to find yourself in a state where you're emotional. It's just, I believe it's needy behavior, it's weak behavior, and it's feminine behavior, and there is no need for it in our society, especially from the men. From the women, it's a slightly different. You shouldn't really fight, you shouldn't really argue, and you should really get emotional if it's something genuine. And one for the ladies, don't ever get emotional to try and manipulate, blackmail, gaslight your significant other, because it's not good. And I truly believe what goes around always ends up coming back around. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.